The Rebbe's Maamar Tovshin Chav 293. Ois Hey. Okay, the Rebbe's asked and strengthened the questions without the Rebbe. In the middle of the Rebbe, bottom line is how the Yidden called Tzivas Hashem, when we know that the name of Hashem was never called until Chana, until the Nevi'im, because Tzvokais is a name that deals with the world of Bria. Moshe Rabbeinu's generation was a dirt of Atzilus, and therefore they have no connection to that level of Tzava. So why are the Yidden called Tzivas Hashem? So you start with these few lines we learned. It comes to the word Tzava. One is Chayil, soldier. Beis is man mugba, limited time. Like it says, like Tzvala and Shaliyarts, a person has a limited amount of time to live. And the third one is Tzivyan, V'yefi, beauty. Okay, these are three interpretations of Tzava: army, time, and beauty. And the Friedrich Rebbe explains in the Maamar, what does it mean? Beauty by Yidden. But the concept that Yidden called Tzivas Hashem, that means they're Tzava, the beauty. What's the beauty by Yidden? He says, he says, what's the definition of beauty? Something composed of many colors. The begaven echad with one color, ein beyefi, there's no beauty in one color. Beauty is when you have many colors blending together in harmony. Only when there's many colors. When it doesn't, it's not a separated color. It's included with all the other colors. What's the definition of beauty? When multicolors blend together in harmony. So there's no more separate color, there's a blended colors of beauty. So he says, so it is, what's the beauty of Yidden? There's so many different types of Jews. This is the beauty of Judaism. There are different levels. There's Pali Hasaga, people that have great minds. Mari Teda. Umar doesn't say this Elohim. There are people that are called Mari du Chochmasa. There are people that are very learned Kabbalistically and all that, very brilliant people. They're called the people of Chochmah. And there's the opposite extreme, the simple Jews, of them Tovim. Their greatness is not their intellectual. Their greatness is they do sincerity. They do mitzvahs with a sincerity. Shemakayim is a Torah mitzvahs b'tamimis. They keep Torah mitzvahs with a sincerity. So you have two extremes. You have Jews that are brilliant, scholarly, and then you have the simple Jews. And this is what it means, Tzivyainam. What does it mean? This is the beauty of Yidden. In fact, even more, you can take it. There's so many different customs amongst Jews. There's Ashkenazic, Sephardic, Chassidic, Litvish. In Chassidic, many different colors. This, on the contrary, is the beauty of Yiddishkeit. The beauty of Yiddishkeit is that there's so many different colors. But you can add. And here the Rebbe added a point. When you look at beauty, it's not in the general picture. Every detail is beautiful. That's what the Rebbe says like this. The general beauty of the picture creates a beauty in each individual color. Each individual color is part of this picture. So normally one color doesn't have beauty. Like you said before, you have a picture with one color, it's not beautiful. But when you have many colors together blending in beauty, so then each color becomes beautiful. Even though it's a single color, then he says, the beauty that all the colors are together, 294. Create a beauty, therefore, in each individual color. And therefore, so if the Yidden are called beautiful, and just as beauty is made up of many different colors, the beauty of Yiddishkeit is they're made up of so many different colors. Through the unity and the association of all Jews together, becomes the ultimate level of beauty. Gam b'chol sug b'fnei atzmei. Every level by itself. Meaning like this. Then the simple people become more beautiful. The scholars become more beautiful. Everybody becomes more beautiful because of the unity of all the Jews together. Even though his Avodah is unique, brilliant scholar, had the kind of to the opposite extreme, the simple Jews, and therefore each one becomes beautiful. So the Rebbe is explaining why are the Yidden called Tzivas Hashem. The question was why are they called Tzivas Hashem? So the Rebbe explains, and the Rebbe is adding to it, that one of the definitions of Tzivas Hashem is beauty. Beauty. Beauty creates that many colors together become beautiful. But not only is then the general picture beautiful, each detail becomes beautiful. Like you have the same thing, by the way, in symphony, 294. One instrument itself is maybe not so beautiful, but you have blending together. And what's unique also is, as other places Chassidus explains, they're opposite instruments. Many colors clash. Yet when they blend together in harmony, each one becomes beautiful by itself. And that's the same thing in the body. You have the head is cold, the heart is warm, this is this is that, this is intellectual, this is emotional, this is action. It's all different parts of a body, right? But yet, blending together, it becomes a human being. And therefore, the heart is great, and the mind is great, and the feet are great, and everything becomes great.
Nothing enshrines it better than a Persian rock.
Yeah, unbelievable. I don't think they had him in the days of Moshe Rabbeinu. And the second interpretation of Tzava is Agbalo Mei, limited time. That he quoted the pasuk, Halei Tzva le'enesh ali oretz. There's a time for a person on earth. Means time. Shah derech yomim yitzodu. Like it says in the pasuk, Hashem created days v'loi echad behem. Meaning, the tzva le'enesh ali oretz. The lechol adam ari yesh leizman kavod the yomim yitzodu. Says like this: a person has X amount of days to live. But Hashem gives every Jew exactly the amount of time they're going to live. And therefore, when a person fulfills his days in Aveda Abirudim Eskafi Visachot, breaking evil, transforming evil, then also he becomes Tzivas Hashem. So meaning like this, one is the beauty of Yidden, that they're all different and they blend together in harmony. The second interpretation is every person has an amount of time to live because they have a mission to accomplish. So when they accomplish the mission, so then they're also called Tzivas Hashem. But now the Rebbe is going to ask on this. We need to understand, the pasuk says in Tillim, that the Rebbe just quoted from the Friedrich Rebbe's Maamar, Yamim Yitzadu literally means Hashem created days, V'loi yachad b'hem. And here there's a V'loi is with a Vav and with an Aleph. Basically the pasuk means simply that a person is created, given X amount of time, he's created a mission, okay? Or one interpretation, V'loi, and what is his mission? Echad b'hem, to bring Echad into the days. One of the interpretations of the pasuk in Tillim is Hashem gave each one days. What's the purpose? Echad b'hem, to bring down Hashem Echad into the days, meaning to utilize the days properly. So he says, what does it mean? What's the Yomim Yitzadu? Shetzorchli is eslabish by Yomim Dafka. That it has to, this greatness of God has to come into days, meaning, which are the garments of Torah mitzvahs. Shalem midva'eseh b'choyim, that a person learns and does mitzvahs every single day. He says, Hari bir ha'olam ha'idei Torah mitzvahs. So that means like this: refining the world is through Torah mitzvahs. V'lama tzarich is dafke b'bayom. Why does it have to be dafke in days? Meaning, he says, b'achim chos yom echadam. If one day is missing, chos levush echadam, one garment is missing. I mean like this: the pasuk says by Avram Avinu, the Avram Zaken, Ba Bayomim. Avram was old, coming in days. Okay? So besides the question the Meforshim asked, it's redundant. Avram Zaken is old. Ba Bayomim means coming in days, again means old. So Chassidus explains, not only was Avram Zaken, Ba Bayomim means he's coming in days, every day of his life is fulfilled to the fullest. Coming in days means every day was filled by him. Which means, if God forbid you're missing a day, you wasted a day, so then you wasted a garment that you were supposed to accomplish that day. Right? Every day we have a mission to accomplish. You skipped a day, you can't make it up the next day, because next day has its own mission to accomplish. Unless tshuva, which is supersedes time and place, whatever. But normally, you blow it, you blow it. L'mashal, a guy, God forbid, misses tefillin a day. He can never make it up. You're going to put out tefillin the next day, the next week. But that day, Monday morning, you missed tefillin. Right? So the Rebbe says, Shu ilmin yamim yitzaru, by day zeh, davki chem lagila in the le'echebem, like he explains later. Okay, so he says like this. The Chayra, refining the world, has to do with Torah mitzvahs. What does it have to do with days? What does it have to do with days? Why is the emphasis Yamim Yitzaru v'lo yachbem? Why does it have to do with days? It has to do with doing Torah mitzvahs, not days. So the Rebbe is asking, why is the pasuk saying Yamim Yitzaru instead of Torah mitzvahs? So he says, Tzemach Tzedek explains, Shemisad ze shekiyamam Torah mitzvahs. Nasa yedei neshama, Torah mitzvahs are done through the neshama, and only the neshama. Kamei Lubavitcher, but the way it's in the body, L'chayin shayach bazeh, in tarovis in yodim ka'ela. The mixture becomes mixed into the life, because the things, shebeglolim yitztarchu lichis elzachichas elavushim. 294. Because of that, because the neshama can only do Torah mitzvahs in the world, in the body, you can't do Torah mitzvahs in Gan Eden. You can't put on tefillin in Gan Eden. You can't bench lulav in Gan Eden. You can only do Torah mitzvahs in the physical body. So therefore, because it's in the body, you have a yetzer hara, you have a body that gets in the way. So unwanted things can get involved to the extent that you need to wash and clean the garments. Well, derech hamavor b'mayim lashon Chazal. Ma'asim tovim. It says ma'asim tovim. Okay. Well, tshuva ma'asim tovim. Yeah. What's this expression ma'asim tovim? Say tshuva mitzvahs. It's ma'asim tovim. She'ein yana ma'asim bolvad eina maspek adayin. Because the Mishnah is teaching us like this, or the way Tzemach Tzedek explains it. It's not enough to do action. The actions have to be good. It's a ma'asim yotovim. The Chassidus asks the question in many places. It says always the expression tshuva u'ma'asim tovim. Right? Tshuva ma'asim tovim. Tshuva ma'asim tovim me'elam hazeh. So the question is, what should come first? Tshuva, ma'asim tovim. First you have ma'asim tovim and then tshuva. But normally you do first the mitzvah, and if you didn't, then you do tshuva. Why does it say first tshuva, ma'asim tovim? So Chassidus explains, through the concept of tshuva, which again, not repenting for sins, returning to God, then the actions become good and shining. In other words, how do the ma'asim, actions of mitzvahs, become tovim, meaning good, shining, and glorified? That's through the concept of becoming closer to Hashem. That's the concept of tshuva. So tshuva actually, not sin tshuva.
Not only a concept,
actually becomes, he says, ma'asim yotovim. So therefore, pray like this. You have Torah mitzvahs. How do you wash off the dirt that gets in the way when you do it? He said that's davening. And he says, the washing of the actions of the person that they should be clean, that's the level of Eidos HaTefillah, is davening. Because davening, by the way, is similar to the concept of tshuva. Tshuva is lower to higher. Davening is lower to higher. But
What can do Masim Tovim without Tshuva?
not you can't do ma'asim tovim.
You really do great stuff, and then it's
So the Maamarim will be
You could put on tefillin every day, be bored of your mind, not wanting to do it, and you do it because that's your habit. So you did the ma'asim, you put on tefillin, but they're not necessarily good and shiny.
Oh, but in case of doing good deeds for other people, giving tzedakah,
Yeah, all of that.
dedicating your time to the goodness, one can really not do tshuva, still do...
Again,
great-
tshuva doesn't mean for sins. Tshuva means returning.
Right.
Okay, now let me ask you a question. Now 1 second, let me say something. If somebody gives tzedakah because I want to be a nice guy, I want to be a nice guy, therefore I'll give tzedakah. Well, 1 second, 1 second. Or somebody gives tzedakah because God said so. Seemingly, what's the difference? I'm giving tzedakah, right? What's the difference if I'm doing it because I want to be a nice guy or because Hashem said so? There's a fundamental difference. If I'm doing it because I'll be a nice guy, then if I won't be a nice guy by it, I'm not going to do it. If I'll hurt myself by giving tzedakah, then I'm not going to do it. If I do it because Hashem said so, I'll give you an example. The end of the first parak of Tanya, the Alter Rebbe says that the neshamas of goyim come from shosh kitzat tameis she'em bahem toiv klal, which is really a Gemara. Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai said it in the Gemara. It's not the Alter Rebbe in Tanya, okay? But it says everything they do. That's why he ended up hiding in a cave for 13 years, because he said kol tiv davde u'maseilam that gamayu avdim. They only do it for themselves. They don't do it because. So the Rebbe asked. So basically, the Alter Rebbe said she'em bahem toiv klal. They have no good. What do you mean they have no good? So the question, there's a lot of goyim that do good. What does it mean in the Gemara, and the Alter Rebbe just quotes the Gemara basically, that the good of goyim, and Rashbi quotes the pasuk, chesed lu'umim chatos. The chesed of nations is a sin. L'chayr is not true. So first of all, chasidi umas sa'ilam, the righteous goyim, which the Rambam's definition of that is one who keeps 7 mitzvahs b'nei Noach because Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu on Har Sinai to keep, that a guy has to keep 7 mitzvahs b'nei Noach. If not, the Rambam says he's not chasidi umas sa'ilam, he's nothing. But let's say he's chasidi umas sa'ilam, their nefesh habamitz also comes from klipas nega, not from total evil. But the Rebbe explained once to somebody like this: a lot of times people do good, like this by Yidden also, but Yidden is a different story. Why do I do good? Because I want to be a good person. I want to be a complete person. In order to be a good person, you need to do good.
Or you sympathize with the recipient.
But that makes me a good person. Okay? Why will I help you? Because it's a good thing to help somebody. That makes me a good person. Therefore, you're really doing it for yourself. You're not doing it because you want to do an act of kindness for somebody else. You're doing it really because I become a better person when I do an act of chesed. Therefore, what would be if I would endanger myself by doing that chesed? I won't necessarily do it, because then it can cause the opposite of my completeness of a human being. Yes, there were goyim that, plenty of them forged documents for the Jews and Hindu Jews. I mean, they're taka righteous people. But normally, even lied by Yidden. Why do you do it? So if you do it because Hashem said so, in other words, because of tshuva, meaning I want to become closer to Hashem, not because I become a better person, it's because this is what Hashem wants, then the actions become good because there's no ego involved in it. So and now the Rebbe says that's the level of tefillah. Tefillah washes the dirt. If you think about it, tshuva and tefillah have a lot in common. What's tshuva? Momata l'mayla. I return to Hashem. It's not Hashem revealing Himself to me. It's me returning myself to Hashem. That's davening, refining myself. Torah is bringing God's seichel, Torah, into my brain. So I'm not elevating myself to God. I'm bringing godliness into my brain. That's higher to lower. tshuva and ma'asim tovim. I mean, sorry, tshuva and tefillah for them have something in common. They're both mata lamaila, from lower to higher. And therefore he says, what washes the filth of the Jew? He says, all the elevation that we have of Torah mitzvahs, that come through me, what elevates all the mitzvahs we do? Davening. And he quotes this, okay, he's going to say where it comes from. And that's when Sulam Mutzav Arsav Magia Shemaima. The ladder that goes from, right, Yaakov Avinu's dream. So Yaakov Avinu instituted Ma'ariv. So what's Tefillah? The ladder going up, the angels going up and down. Meaning the Jew elevating himself to godliness and then bringing godliness down. What?
Just the flow. It's going because we're saying last paragraph, a lot of colors are good. Now we're saying Torah mitzvahs are good. So are we saying that?
No, the Rebbe's question beginning in this paragraph, what does it have to do with days? Why is there an Indian of days?
Yeah.
That's the Torah mitzvahs, not days. Days are not what do it. So why does it say Yomim Yitzor V'Leiach Behem or Alei Tzval Anish Aliyot? What does it have to do with Yomim, days? 1 second. So the Rebbe is asking, he didn't answer it yet. Right? But he asked, L'cheira, it's Torah mitzvahs, that's what refines the world, not the days.
That's what he's saying right now?
Well, now he's in the middle of explaining what the Tzemach Tzedek says, that because the neshama is in the body, it gets dirty, so you need to clean it. He didn't finish the explanation. What cleans it? Tefillah. What?
If a person does a mitzvah and he personally enjoys it, that's a necessary ingredient in this. If you only do it because of Kabbalah Soul, there's no involvement of you as a person.
When the guy came to the Tzemach Tzedek and said to the Tzemach Tzedek, I have a big problem, I don't want to learn. And the Tzemach Tzedek said to him, I have a bigger problem than you, I do want to learn.
It's very high.
But ultimately, I'll give you an example. If somebody has two mitzvahs to choose from, one you enjoy doing and one you don't enjoy doing, which mitzvah should you do?
What are you doing? What kind of life is that? I mean, this is not a personal Yiddishkeit anymore.
Sure it is. My relation with God. Adarabba. Somebody else should do the other mitzvah because they don't like the other mitzvah. They don't like this mitzvah. I don't like this mitzvah.
You should always do
it. Says, in fact, the Gemara says it brought down Schneerson. It's the exact same concept. Two people need help. The donkeys are, overloaded, whatever. And there's two people that need help. One's my friend and one's my enemy. If from a non-Torah perspective, from a secular perspective, listen, I'm helping someone. Of course I'm going to help my friend. Torah comes along and says no. And the Rambam brings it down, Schneerson brings it down. That the mitzvah is to help your enemy. Why? Just to break your gashmistic self.
This is not Hasidic.
Sure it's Hasidic. It's not fasting, it's not torturing yourself. It's helping a Jew I like or I don't like. So I am supposed to help the Jew I don't like.
Is it better to enjoy davening?
No.
Personally?
No. It has to get to a point because then it's all you. Then it's you again. It's not God. It's you.
Is it better to enjoy giving tzedakah or just only...
Just give tzedakah. It doesn't matter.